Over the last couple of days, I've had about a dozen of you guys requesting that we get to this story. I skipped over it yesterday. We have been talking about the NFL so much this week. I just thought we needed to switch things up a bit, at least for a day or so. The way you view things is a choice. When something tragic happens, you can choose to view it through a positive lens, or you can choose to focus on the negatives. Take the situation with Damar Hamlin, for example. Me personally, I like to remain positive. What happened Monday night was awful, but look at all the positive things that have happened in the aftermath. First and foremost, Damar Hamlin came out of his coma. He seems to be improving every day. Look at the impact one 24-year-old young man had on society. People from across the country came together donating millions of dollars to Damar Hamlin's charity. His foundation focuses on bettering the lives of children. Think about how many kids will be impacted, all because of what happened Monday night. Damar Hamlin, he didn't know it at the time, but he brought people together. He united everyone. Everyone stopped what they were doing Monday night to pray for Damar Hamlin. At least, that's what normal people did. Normal people try to turn a negative into a positive, which is the opposite mentality of the shitfucks in the mainstream media. These people never cease to amaze me with their ability to be absolutely disgusting. Most people in the media lead miserable lives. The reason I say that, it is impossible to spread misery without being miserable yourself. People who lead happy lives, they typically spread their happiness to others. People living in misery share their misery. For over a decade, maybe even longer, the mainstream media has been at war with the NFL. They hate football. I mean, they really, really hate it. Football represents everything the media wants removed from society. Masculinity, Americana, unity. And I'm talking about real unity here, not the bullshit unity the media talks about. Toughness, the win at all cost mentality. We often talk about relatability and how the NBA continuously fails to relate to the casual viewer, normal people. NFL, they're the complete opposite. Normal people relate to the NFL and its players, while the media relates to the NBA. Back in 2011, maybe 2012, the mainstream media tried to destroy the NFL by using concussions. Oh, it's too dangerous. Lives are at risk on every play. This league should be outlawed. Yeah, well, your life is also at risk every time you consume the Oscar Mayer. But I don't hear anyone in the mainstream media pushing to ban the woke wiener. They tried to use Colin Kaepernick. They used black quarterbacks. They used the lack of black head coaches. This entire season, the Washington Post has published a weekly article highlighting the mythical racism in the NFL. Last month, they published a piece titled, "Football is America. We should not be satisfied with either." The Washington Post has been pushing to see more black head coaches in a league they want banned. They don't want the NFL to exist. Now the mainstream media is using Damar Hamlin, politicizing what happened Monday night in their latest attempt to convince you that football is too dangerous. Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they have given this particular assignment to the Yentas on The View. Now this might seem like a dumb strategy on the surface. Grown men, we are not taking advice on football from a woman who calls herself Whoopi and has mastered the art of flatulence with her cushion. But this tactic is actually brilliant. Those deacons at Woke United Methodist, they have the ability to devise good strategies from time to time. Just think about this. Who watches The View? Who's at home at 10 o'clock in the morning during the week? Mothers and grandmothers. They gave this assignment to the sea donkeys on The View because they can influence mom. Mom thinks football's too dangerous. Little Tommy not going to be allowed to play. Grandma thinks football's too dangerous. She influences mom to sign him up for cheerleading instead. This is better. This way he can still be a part of the game. He will just wear a sports bra instead of a jock strap. It's much safer this way. Wednesday morning, the Yentas on The View were once again talking about something they know absolutely nothing about: the NFL, football. In a strange twist of irony, Sonny Hostin was given the role as the voice of reason. It's not all that difficult to be the voice of reason on The View. If you know men can't get pregnant, you're qualified for the job. They were talking about kids playing football and the potential long-term ramifications. Sonny Hostin shared a story about her son, then passed the cucumber to Joy Behar. Joy Behar? I pulled out my list of people I trust when it comes to football. Joy Behar wasn't on it. I am not taking football advice from an 80-year-old woman who looks like a mannequin. Between Nancy Pelosi and Joy Behar, no wonder there are shortages on plastic in this country. Joy Behar decided to drop what she likes to call knowledge. She wanted young mothers to know which evil segment of the population is keeping football alive in America. She wanted young mothers to know the person endangering the life of her son is laying next to you in bed every night. These people will use anyone, anything to further their own agenda. They never let a crisis go to waste when it comes to destroying the NFL. Listen to this knowledge from the mannequin. And don't focus on the fact that her mouth is not moving. Doctors went a little bit overboard with the injections, but she was still able to articulate her propaganda. Watch it for yourself.
Right? I mean, my kid played football. He was recruited for college, and he got a terrible hamstring injury getting hit. And I saw him collapse to the ground. Thank you. And he went through physical therapy for 6 months. And he realized at that point, that could happen to my brain.
Right.
Yeah. And so he quit. And he did. He quit. And it was a very hard thing for him because he loved doing it. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to turn people away from the sport because, I mean, I went to Notre Dame. It's like faith, family, football. It's a big deal, and it's a $105 billion industry.
Yeah.
So, only 45% of Americans think that tackle football is appropriate. Wow. Heterosexual men voted the most support for kids doing football, and conservatives were more likely to support youth tackle football. Just saying.
First things first, what happened Monday night will have absolutely no effect on the NFL, especially long term. People are not going to stop watching. Kids are not going to stop playing football because of what happened to Damar Hamlin. When you see a brutal accident on the interstate, do you park your car and stop driving? No. But number two, the mannequin claims that football is a sport supported by evil, cisgender, conservative men. Translation, white men. Last I checked, the majority of players in the NFL were young black men. Well, Casey, she was talking about the audience, the consumer, not the players. Oh, yeah? I know she was talking mainly about youth football, but where does youth football lead? Kids playing youth football, they want to advance to high school. Kids playing high school want to advance to D1, then the NFL. They do all of this with their parents' support. So who is supporting the NFL? Check it out for yourself. As you can see, 70% of black people are an avid or casual fan of the NFL. In terms of demographics, that's the NFL's biggest audience. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the media was fighting mythical racism. I thought they were fighting for more opportunities for black men, especially in football. How can they be involved in that fight while at the same time wanting to take down the league? The same league that gives young black men the opportunity to create generational wealth. Doesn't make sense to me, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a shitfuck, or a mannequin for that matter. But did you notice Joy Behar did not reference the poll that she was using? Was I the only one that noticed that? Anytime I give you guys statistical information, I try to always include the screenshot so you know exactly where I pulled it from. How come Joy Behar didn't reveal the source of her information? If I had to guess, it's all bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised if she just made it up. And let me ask you something. How come we don't hear these same complaints when it comes to the NHL? Last I checked, hockey, extremely dangerous. It's a league filled with evil white men. What about boxing, UFC? Pretty sure you are at risk for head injuries when you're constantly being punched in the face. How come we only hear these complaints when it comes to the NFL? They claim football is too violent, but they never mention the violence in Chicago, New Orleans, every other major city run by a woke birthing person. Why do they only complain about the NFL? Because it's the league enjoyed by the most people. The NFL commands the largest audience on television. It unites people. And anything that unites, anything people enjoy, the media wants it destroyed. Let me tell you how pathetic these yentas on The View have become. Yesterday, I was reading a story in the Daily Mail. This week, the Whoopi cushion returned to The View for the first time since making absurd remarks about the Holocaust again. We often talk about this obsession for fame and notoriety, this need for validation from complete strangers. Normal people, we seek validation from within. Normal people, we seek validation from the people closest to us. Complete opposite with the shit fucks. They lead miserable lives. Their odor has repelled those closest to them. When you only bathe once a week, you have a tendency to spend a lot of time by yourself. The need for validation, it's human nature. It's got to be filled. Got to get it from somewhere. If you can't get it through friends, family, next best option is complete strangers. The Whoopi cushion. She made her triumphant return this week and had some special instructions for production. When you attend a television taping, especially on a live television show, production will have someone come out before they go on the air to hype up the audience. They often have signs in the studio instructing the audience when to laugh, when to clap. This week, they instructed the audience to give the Whoopi cushion the loudest response. They told them to give her a standing ovation while lightly clapping when the other yentas were introduced. Rakes and shovels, get on your knees, bow to our Lord and freshly inflated cushion. Once your prayer is finished, get on your feet, make some noise for the founder of flatulence, the professor of poo, the one, the only, the Whoopi cushion. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Do not forget her co-host, the mannequin, the sun, and two unknown women who serve absolutely no purpose. Clap once or twice, then resume showering the Whoopi with praise and worship. Now, why did they do this? Why should Whoopi Goldberg be entitled to the most adulation? She has needs, damn it! According to the Daily Mail, Whoopi Goldberg needs to feel like a star. She must be viewed as the star of the show. How pathetic can you be? How pathetic can you be? Your life is so miserable that you are seeking forced validation, forced adulation from complete strangers? Give me your thoughts. Joy Behar blames the avid support of football on straight white dudes. Whoopi Goldberg is so pathetic, she forces the audience to shower her with praise. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.